This episode of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omejicat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora White, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rabentau, Anathus Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Alenriel Maximus, Coderith Novelist, Mira, Celesto Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Wibsterwolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Framboise Zaccaro, Bergie, Fudge, Seffield Cafe, and Gregorium Cartus. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you. Good evening, Aorisians. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 429. I'm Lakil Braveston, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, May Lavanadar, and Rolodes.
Hello.
It is November the 23rd, 2024. Can you believe this is the last episode of November?
Yeah.
It will be,
Last
right?
November of the year, guys.
Yeah, Jesus.
Whoa.
Last November of the year.
No, there's November 30th.
No, there's November 30th, Lakil.
No.
Oh, you fucked that up.
Fuck.
Last November month of the year.
we have
guys.
to-
There's only one November per year. I always remember that.
This is
This
the
is the last
penultimate.
November 29th
This is
of
the
the year.
penultimate November
I
episode
don't
of
think
Speakers
we
of
should
Heidelin.
make such claims ever again, Lakil,
No.
because you don't know what's happening.
I tried.
You can gaslight him with anything.
Yeah.
Welcome to Cerulean Reactor.
Welcome to Cerulean Reactor episode 9 retake, because we forgot to turn the microphones on for the
yeah, that's
actual
why we're
live
never going to do
episode.
it again, because that was
Yeah,
that was one of
that
our
was a
best
great
episodes.
episode. We
Yeah.
commented on it being a great episode. What a start! Welcome. It is, like I said, November 23rd. It is the penultimate episode of November, but it is scary that we're at the end of the year. Like, it's almost, we're so close to December. And then after that, it's 2025. So be ready for that. Today, we're going to talk about patch 7.1 again. We're going to continue our spoilercast part 2. We'll talk about the Alliance Raid. We'll talk about some other stuff as well, including the Pandaemonium Quest. And Georgi has done the Hall of the Novice. So I guess we'll touch on that a bit as well.
And the Pelupelu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Pelupelu.
The Pelupelu. In terms of Mogmail, I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze any in. We have a lot of the Mogmail that you've sent in, and thank you for sending in Mogmail, are very long and will require some time to discuss. And we might want to just keep it, because now, after this, it's going to be, it's going to be a
Little
drought.
news for a
It
while,
won't be
yeah.
a lot for us to talk about, so we might want to keep them, as backup. Stay tuned for the post-show. We will not be answering questions from the Syndicate, because boy oh boy is it quiet in the questions from the Syndicate channel this week. So we'll be continuing near far wherever you are. And of course liquids. The usual stuff that you expect from the post-show.
If people don't know what liquids are, that's such a vague teaser.
If you know,
That will draw
you
them
know.
in.
If you know,
There
you
will be
know.
liquid.
Yeah, there will be liquids. Okay, on that note, let's jump into recent events. Yes, and we start, of course, with the breaking news. The most important news of the day. The Dawntrail Collector's Box is 40% off.
Has this
That's
ever happened
crazy.
before? No.
I can't
don't think
imagine.
so.
So.
No one
Well,
wants
they only
this.
started doing the collector's boxes with Endwalker, didn't they? Because before that, it was
Yeah.
always tied to the actual game.
Yeah.
But either way,
Oh.
they've never had enough stock. It was
No.
always sold out on day one.
It was
pretty
sold
much,
out
whereas
day
this-
1, day 2-ish. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Is this just
I
for the
mean-
Western one, right? Not the Japanese ones, I'm guessing. 'Cause there's differences in between the two.
I don't.
Is that?
But
I think they're all the
I
same.
don't think
actually,
so.
I think the only. No, there's no difference this time. I think they're the same.
And we can check on their load.
Let's double check maybe. But I'm not sure. This I think is
Japan.
yeah. They overextended.
Yellowstone is free of that. Look, yeah, there's no article on it.
No.
Hmm.
I I said this is the first collector's box that I had no desire to pre-order,
No
and it looks like
interest,
a lot of people agreed, had the same opinion. I think the statue is not very good. He's standing in dog
worst.
poo.
The worst.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is
It's
the
just not
worst
interesting.
14 collector's
It's
statue or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't understand this obsession with using the base Derplander. Just give
Yeah.
us something else.
Yes.
I
You could've-
appreciate he's the poster child, but this is a game where we make our own character. Why the hell do we want to see some?
I don't
random
care about
representative?
that guy.
No,
No,
I don't.
exactly.
He's not me.
I mean,
I want the
I-
characters from the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as against Derplander as you guys are, but I would only want one of him. I don't
Yeah.
think I
The
would need
Paladin
3
one was
expansions
cool.
in a row of
Right.
the same character.
Yeah.
I would have taken. Sphene would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Rook Lamont would have been a good one.
Yeah.
I don't like Bakul Jaja or something.
yeah.
You could have done
The
a lot
character
of
from
cool
the game.
stuff,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
I don't care about this dude that much.
And I
And
just-
unfortunately, even in, I mean, I like the gear, but it is the slightly more boring of the two jobs gear.
But
It's like,
also,
it's just a fucking
the
bus.
shit he's standing on literally is just like it looks like,
It's
I know it's
Shaloni
supposed to
poo.
be Shaloni, but it's like it looks like dog shit.
You know
and
what it
it's-
looks like?
Mm.
What?
It looks like the mountains in the background in Dragon Ball Z when they're fighting.
Yeah, it does.
Specific.
Yes.
I see exactly what
Yeah,
it means.
I see it,
You know
yeah.
what? You know what else would have been good? Pictomancer Cryle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
many more
Anything.
things I'd want.
Literally
Before Dirk
any
Lander
other
Viper.
option
Yeah.
would have worked. An alpaca
I mean-
would have been nice.
Yes.
I'll say, I was interested in this collector's edition box because I've never bought one before because they've never been available to me.
Like,
And
Right.
I mean, this is a nice sale that once again I checked the store here, not available to me, so you're not getting
Aw.
my money.
Nice.
For-
it
Nice.
is a
40%
tempting
off.
price at like
Listen.
£70.
Yeah.
I know.
I could maybe forgive this collector's box if the other stuff in there was good, but it's not good.
No.
It's a little roll-up leather pen case,
Yeah.
a blank journal, and I guess the
The
map is
map.
the best thing.
The map
I
is
The
think the
map
map
is the best thing.
but it's not that good. But
No.
everything else is just that bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little disappointing to have a version of the world map with all the cloud cover as well. Like, it'll go out of like if next expansion they unveil Mericidia and do another map.
Yeah.
It's like it's just I
Yeah.
don't know.
Just give us the full map
I
already.
don't.
Yeah, but
I don't
if they
mind
give
this
another-
style, but I like the old Aosia style as well. For the map.
Yeah.
the next map will probably be in a different style. I like this style
Yeah.
because it shows the location that we're heading to.
That
I
is-
like the idea that each time we get a new continent that we're visiting, we'll get a new map style.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that before. Every expansion has its own map
Borders and stuff.
borders even too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny when we first talked about this collector's box. I laughed at the statue, but also the fact that you get a blank journal because, and I know
Yeah.
that there was some support for the journal here on this show, but that
Hey.
has always been. I'm not mentioning names, but it rhymes with orgy. Okay.
Oh.
So that was what we always laughed at when we were talking about the 1.0 collector's edition, is that they came with a blank book, like just
It's very Japanese.
Just
Yeah.
But
paper.
no,
Yeah.
Let's get stationary. Throw
Y-
stationary in there,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool. but,
Yeah.
You know, that's I
So
don't care about
they
that.
tried again, and clearly that wasn't enough to sell the box. So you can buy it now for 40% off.
mean, they're advertising the actual cardboard box.
Yeah, that
It's
too.
Well, the
Yeah,
box is
set
part of
up,
the
like-
appeal of it.
I mean, I like the box. I like.
I can't.
the,
No, I can't. I have all the boxes.
Dawntrail one.
You know.
Yeah, they
I
look nice,
think
but it's
these.
not like a point.
No, I think these massive boxes are. If you're gonna have all of them, you
They're
need
clutter.
a warehouse.
Mm,
Like they
that's
are
true,
so
yeah.
big. But whatever.
I don't have any of the ones I have in this house, but I have the 16 one, and it's a beautiful
Mhm.
box. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking box. It's a
Ye-
shiny,
Yes.
glossy box.
Yes.
Could we?
Yeah.
Were we able to buy this at FanFest, Rollo? I don't remember if this was on sale at their store.
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
I
well,
think
that
it
would
was-
have been my one chance
it
at
was
buying it.
just merch.
That would have been a rough journey back to Australia, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I suppose you could.
I
have
could
shipped
try. I could trust my ability to pack it carefully
That's
in
true.
my suitcase, then I can trust what I've seen of statues arriving from Square Enix in the
That's
past.
true.
So true.
That's true. They don't
All
have
the Omega ones and everything.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna say something
Yeah.
bold here. I think the last good CE statue was Stormblood. That Xenos
Xenos
one
is good.
is immaculate. Like, it is so good. Everything else after has been like
Shadowbringers was okay. I liked the
I think
the
Is that the
effect.
Paladin?
I can.
Was that
no,
the Dark
Shadowbringers
Knight?
is the Dark Knight. I think I prefer
Yeah.
the Paladin one,
I
but I
like the
don't.
Paladin one.
It's okay.
I
It's
mean,
been
they're
better because you
slightly-
can't tell.
I
It's
meant this one,
Derplander, you know.
obviously.
Yeah, that one's cool.
I
like
think
that.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's so much
It-
better than what we're looking at on
Yeah.
screen right now.
It's better than the dog poo.
Yeah, I like them. I know they're not like as high quality as they could be in the collecting statues world.
I mean, God.
for the price, but
fucking dusty.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't
Oh,
have the
it's
Xenos
beautiful.
one. I kind of wish I had
The Xenos
Yeah,
one's
like,
really good.
It's so good because it doesn't have a face, and they're so bad at modeling
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
the
true.
issue.
Like
And
the
painting
Dark Knight
faces.
one is good
God.
because you only see the lower mouth, face.
Yeah.
But the Paladin,
Need to clean my Xenos a little bit. He's a little dusty.
Whereas like the Omega M&F is like comedic if they've done it
It's-
slightly badly.
Square Enix,
Yeah.
please, I'm begging you, stop doing your own dumb in-house modeling, like statue
Well, they
companies.
can
Just
do-
go to Good Smiles. Go to someone else.
No, some of
please.
Who?
some of them face ones are good. Like Ultima's great.
Hi, Sarah. That's like not an
It has a
average
face.
statue you would get.
It has a real face though.
Let's.
I would hope so for that price.
But guys,
The ultimate
Good
statue.
smile.
let's not forget
Good smile,
that
though.
perhaps the worst one is the fucking Heavensward one, where
No,
Mindy
oh,
can't even
no. I
fucking
love the
stand
Heavensward
on the
one.
fucking.
Just
He doesn't
work.
fit on the fucking pedestal, so he keeps
But
falling
is
off.
he not? Oh, it's so cool though. Look at him.
I mean, the model is quite good,
The
actually.
model's so
Yeah.
cool.
The
Again,
model is good.
nothing with a face. Like nothing
Right.
with a
Yeah,
human face.
They're good
Yeah.
at monsters.
But it's like,
I think
but
that
why
would-
is it the mount version of him? It was always.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
don't
say.
like
I
that.
think it would work better if it didn't
It
have
has
the
the
chair on
saddle.
his back.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Good smile.
Yeah.
I'll have a look
Don't
at
look
their
up
stuff.
good smile models right now. You'll find a lot of
Well,
really good ones, and you'll get
they make
distracted.
Figmas. They make
Yeah.
Figmas in Nendoroid.
Oh my lord.
They're famous.
I think I know what
Kotobukiya.
Mabel just found.
Let's go
Okay.
on.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. We have spent way more time than we should on
I was
the
thinking that
sale
too.
for this.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're getting paid for
Because
this,
now
so
we're
it's
going to
fine.
talk about something I know that chat has been waiting for us to talk about.
Ah!
Final Fantasy XIV Mobile is real.
Happening, guys.
I'm really interested to know the community response to this generally.
Yes.
Because I personally don't feel super pleased that 5 years worth of sub fees has gone on the development of a mobile app of a game that we've played and has now gone.
A Realm Reborn.
But if people, I know the market is more for
It's not for us.
It's not
the
for us.
Eastern market, and it's especially big for people for countries that don't get the actual game.
Yes.
Well, it's big for Eastern countries because they spend less time at home.
Yeah.
So the idea that they can play something on the go is more appealing to them.
Yes. It is like the ultimate like monkey's paw.
Yeah.
I think there's one
For
potential
classic servers.
You always want.
I think there's one potential golden lining for this, but we'll get to that.
Well, let's at least introduce what this is for those that don't know.
Yes.
14 Square Enix has announced a Final Fantasy XIV mobile game called Final Fantasy XIV Mobile. An official title based on Final Fantasy XIV, developed by Lightspeed Studios under the supervision of Square Enix. The game is scheduled for testing in several regions ahead of its initial launch in mainland China. Adjustments will then be made based on feedback before its planned release for global audiences. This is very funny. They show there's a picture in this post of the classic A Realm Reborn / Warrior. I mean,
You
in A
mean
Realm
this one you have
Reborn.
down here, or
No,
the new
No,
concept art?
not that one.
it's
okay.
it's this
Look
one
at
where
the show notes,
they're
Robert.
in like
Well, no,
Lenosha.
I don't know if he's talking about that or the show notes.
No,
look at
show
both.
notes. This is the promo picture.
It's exactly where we're up to in the show notes.
Okay,
You
yeah,
could have been talking about
okay, it's fine. I showed the picture. They're standing in Lenosha, and then it says in red, concept image may differ from final in-game visuals. So
They're going to melt Limpsa a little bit.
I think they're going to melt Limpsa a little bit.
I mean, they
Melty
showed
Limpsa's
in-game-
back.
They showed in-game footage in the trailer.
The trailer, and
Motion.
it's like
It looks good.
Well, it looks
It does look
good.
pretty
It looks
good.
like a mobile game, but it has.
Well,
Yeah,
it looks
but
like a good mobile game though. It's pretty smooth, like decent
It
frame
is.
rate and everything.
It is. I will wait until I see the actual game on a
I want
mobile
to see
phone.
the user interface.
'Cause-
Is what I want to see.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
I want to see all of that.
You
Because
gotta be like, does it come with like its own sort of AI help where it's like, hey Heidelin, cast fire, because it's got too many buttons otherwise.
I'm curious as to how it's going to handle things like Mordona. Are they going to go back all the way to 2.0 Mordona? Is that the only way people are going to see it again?
It's toll.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm curious about the progression as far as
Yeah.
like patches and because
Yeah.
they said it's going to be everything.
yes,
But it's not going to be everything all at once, of
The
course.
studios talked about Ultimates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Please don't. What are you doing?
yeah.
I'm a VF Ultimate Raider, but only on mobile.
I'm out just at the a restaurant doing Ultima, chat with the boys, not participating in the conversation because I'm playing Final Fantasy Mobile,
Guys, I'm crafting.
doing tea.
Shut up.
Now,
If I could craft on my phone, that would be great.
I agree with
well,
that.
the thing is, this
If
is
there
a
was some
different
interface,
game.
it's not- yeah,
This
it's
isn't.
Yeah.
This
unrelated.
isn't 14.
Yeah, I know it's a different game.
You have to
That's
start
the
over.
annoying part.
So I don't.
And this is
I get to
free to
level
play.
all over again. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's free to play, isn't it?
Yes, it is free.
It
to
is
play.
free to play.
Which is it's a
No,
However,
big thing.
I would take this with the bit. I mean, we're gonna read an interview that calms the nerves a little bit, but the game isn't out yet. Like it said, they're gonna test some things first, and then we'll see what the game is like. So I am not gonna celebrate all the news that have come out from this.
But it's,
yet.
I mean, I'm not a very big fan of mobile gaming. It's a lot of game for free when you compare it to most other mobile games. Like even the good ones, like the Hoyoverse ones. At the end of the day, they have a lot of content, but the stories are shit in those games.
Oh,
They're gonna have
get
to-
that one, though.
They're gonna
murder
have
you.
to. Yeah.
No, they're okay stories, but they're not like super engaging, and a lot of it's blocked by content progression.
Mhm.
Like the
Uh-huh.
adventure level in Honkai, you get to like level 5, and then you have to grind for 10 levels. Whereas
Yeah.
this won't have that. There's
Well,
it's 1 to 50.
that's the thing. So
Free.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you. I think that as someone who has played a lot of bad and some good mobile games, MMOs and gachas and otherwise, I think how they'll make this free to play system, and how they'll be making their money because this isn't free. The most obvious one, of course, is cosmetics, cash shop, whatever. Might be a thing, might not. I'm not sure. I think most likely what would be
Don't say it.
is materia melding will be a big money sink.
Mhm.
As in either getting materia or melding will cost you or whatever. And then also your item level will be the progress for it will be slowed down significantly.
Yeah.
I would guess by some kind of stamina system. Basically, you're gonna bring
Oh.
back anima, but for dungeons and queuing.
Oh my God, they're gonna
If
bring back
that's
the
probably
1.0.
The face that Lakil
Fatigue
just pulled
system.
made it sound like you sold him.
No,
You sold him on
that's so
this
funny.
title.
The fatigue system is back. They brought it back. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I think. So like you can spend more money. Like, oh, I just did a dungeon, but I need a couple more tomes to get to the next
And-
item level, so I can do the next dungeon. But like, oh, I can get the $5 pack that can
Yeah.
get me 3 more dungeons for a chance at a drop.
They're not running a fucking charity. You're gonna have to. They're gonna cover the costs.
That's quite likely. Those options are quite likely.
And,
having played Lost Ark and other Korean MMOs,
let's
gating is massive.
Let's also not forget that Tencent is also technically involved in this project. So there is
Tencent.
They're in everything.
So let's not forget there's going to be some there's going to be some bullshit in here.
You know what though? Like, it depends how they do it. Like Lost Ark was, I think, fairly fair. It had a pity system, so if you spent enough tries on gearing up, eventually you'd get to 100%, and you'd get the gear level.
Yeah,
and it was fine for free to play.
Like, can you imagine?
It was fine.
Glamour prisms are going to cost money. They're going to have to buy a glamour bundle.
All the cosmetics I would expect to cost.
Retainers will cost money.
Retainers, which already cost money technically in the game, but I think you have to just to get one.
The things I'm scared about is more when he started talking about stamina. I got scared about teleport fees.
Oh yeah,
and like
100%
teleports per day.
There's gonna, like you said, anima. I think they're gonna bring back like
comes back for
anima system, and then you have to pay.
The dungeons one though, Rollo, you've smashed that. Even better, you have to like grind overall mobs for dungeon keys or something, so you can get access to the dungeon.
Well, see, I think that's too much messing with the formula.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
it's still being supervised by is it Square Enix in general or Yoshida? So they still want to keep the core, I think. But they can definitely mess with your progression.
I think it's important that we say these things because I've seen a lot of people be like, because there's an interview that Yoshi P has done that he said there's not going to be any gotcha mechanics in the game. Yeah. That doesn't mean there's not going to be bullshit pay gating. That's going to happen all over this game. It's it's free.
Different. Yeah.
You cannot roll for an SSR Graha.
Right.
Sorry.
That would be such a good for the duty support system. That would be the perfect way of getting gacha into it.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'll stole a summer outfit.
I'm gonna read this IGN interview. It's very, very. It's not that short actually. It's quite long now that I read it. No, it's not long. Medium. All right, I'll read it now. Yesterday's announcement that Final Fantasy XIV is coming to mobile thanks to Lightspeed Studios raised plenty of questions among fans, including which content it will feature and how it will incorporate monetization. Now, Final Fantasy XIV producer and director Naoki Yoshida has answered at least some of these questions in a new video released exclusively to IGN. This is a quote from Yoshida. While we were keen on the idea of a mobile version, we had doubts about adapting some core aspects such as monetization and core gameplay to be more accessible to mobile users. Therefore, we provided challenging feedback to the Final Fantasy XIV Mobile dev team, Yoshida explains.
Challenging feedback?
Yeah, that's a Yoshida answer. Yoshida goes on to reveal that Final Fantasy XIV Mobile will indeed start with A Realm Reborn, the original campaign that helped reboot Square Enix's struggling MMORPG back in 2013. The rest of the content will then be released gradually based on player feedback. There it is again. Not challenging this time, just player feedback. Of course, Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy XIV Mobile will be developed and operated independently, with 14 naturally being ahead in its release schedule, Yoshida says. However,
naturally.
However, we see 14 Mobile as a sister title, and we are thoroughly involved in its supervision. We will continue to provide guidance and feedback as the project moves forward, hoping that both versions will grow hand in hand. The upshot is the Final Fantasy XIV will be relatively similar to the PC and console version, though. Yoshida does not say whether it will unify accounts or progression. In addition to faithfully recreating the story for mobile users, it will incorporate elements like the Gold Saucer, Triple Triad, crafting and gathering. Oh, see, already seeing potentials for money gating here.
Okay, here's one that's going to sting. I'm going to say this right now, right? 2 free jobs. Everything after.
Oh, that's a clever one.
It's $5 for Dragoon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
15 for Samurai.
Souls of the craft. 30. If you want to specialize in crafts, you can specialize in them all, but each one costs money.
Yeah.
I don't like. I hope I do not live to see a world where Final Fantasy XIV Mobile is ahead.
Oh my God!
14. Can you imagine that? Oh,
I must.
How slowly must we be going?
I know that
expansion for Final Fantasy 14.
I know that 14 has a lot of whales, but I'm talking to you right now, whale. You're watching. Do not sink more money into Final Fantasy XIV Mobile than the main game. I beg of
Please,
you.
No.
Yeah.
Do
that
it,
would
because
be-
I'm gonna play that game for free, and I need you to pay for
You
my.
are
playtime.
already dooming us enough. Do not
You need to
destroy the
subsidize
game.
my
I
free-to-play.
mean, I think most of the whales you're talking to are not listening to this because they
Yeah.
will not understand English.
They're too busy
That-
spending money.
That's true. That's true. Okay. As for the battle system, Yoshida doesn't offer many specifics on how it's being adapted to mobile, but does allude to its virtual joystick and how the actions are being tuned for touchscreen play.
No.
Yeah.
Virtual joystick.
That's
Oh, it's the one that's
That
on
means it'll look
screen.
good.
that doesn't give me hope.
I don't know how else they would have solved it
No.
though. How would they solve it, Rollo? With
They
it's-
can't solve this game's UI on mobile.
At first, when I first saw the trailer, before I read more of the interviews, I thought it was like, okay, it's gonna be revamped, maybe a bit more stationary playing,
Okay.
where you focus more on using your skills, you know,
Yeah.
and you just stand there and take damage, and then you use your whatever.
Okay.
Imagine if they turned it into a turn-based
Oh,
That'd
RPG.
be-
I'd play
That would be crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
like
no.
they did with Final Fantasy 15 Pocket or whatever. If they did a version like that, I would absolutely play that. But it's
Mhm.
just the MMO again.
But I hate virtual joysticks in most
Oh,
mobile
yeah.
games. They feel
I
like
mean, I agree.
Yeah.
They don't feel nice.
So I mean, it really is just. It looks like they've taken just the A Realm Reborn graphics, and crunched them a little bit, and then that's the game. So they just add a joystick, you walk around, and then I'm assuming you just have a little hotbar that you touch on the skills you want to
so
use.
difficult.
I think you have simplified skills, as in like max 5 or so,
Mhm.
and probably a lot of mobile MMOs have like auto scaling, where
Oh,
you
yeah.
just- most of it just
I mean-
goes off, and there's some that you have that you usually control and worry about, like defensive buffs or your big nukes or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Yoshi P does go on to explain.
Yeah, we'll
a
talk
little
about it.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Luchid's
particular.
virtual joystick, and how the actions are being tuned for touchscreen play. In particular, when it comes to the battle system, which involves player parties, we had to adjust each duty and its mechanics to ensure players would have a satisfying experience. Our battle and content designers, as well as myself personally, played through early builds and provided feedback on how to create a multiplayer experience that would be enjoyable to mobile users. Ultimately, the biggest difference between Final Fantasy XIV Mobile and the original release on PC console is that the former version will be fully free to play. However, that doesn't mean it will include gacha play or other exploitative mechanics. Instead, Yoshida says it will be geared towards encouraging long-term engagement. Quote, our goal
That
is...
just says it.
Yeah.
He just says, however, that doesn't mean it will include gacha. Doesn't
Well,
say it
this-
doesn't include gacha. Just that doesn't mean it includes gacha.
That is true.
but it does include.
And then
You're reading into that one too much.
but here's the important quote. Our goal is to ensure that players can enjoy Final Fantasy XIV for a long time while generating a small and sustainable revenue, allowing as many people as possible to play the game. So there's no need to worry too much. Just dive in and enjoy the game, Yoshida says. Yoshida says the team will aim to gather feedback and begin conducting tests, including monetization in various regions globally. It will launch first in mainland China and gradually expand to a global release. In the meantime, Final Fantasy XIV continues to move ahead on PC and console. Yeah, so there you go.
China's ahead this time. Oh no. we're
China,
behind.
yeah. This, yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's a huge market to exploit right now.
I'm genuinely I'm not super excited or anything, oh, I gotta play it, but just genuinely really interested in how it's going to turn out, because it's such it's classic. It literally is classic, you could say. Around Reborn, but what are you gonna do with skills? Is War gonna play 2.0 Warrior, right? Or
Yes.
there's
It's
gotta
gonna be
there
in
has to be some changes, because you can't just plop even Stormblood or Endwalker Warrior into A Realm Reborn, right? You have to make even more massive adjustments to play.
Yeah.
The rate of progression too, is housing going to be there on launch, or is it going to be the same 5 patches?
I mean,
you
those
know?
are interesting things to think about. I
I'm-
wonder, the scope of the game. How much
Yeah.
are we getting?
I don't think it will be 1-to-1, because I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't think it will launch without duty roulettes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they'll need to tie the money system into that, the stamina system.
Yeah.
There has to be some stuff that is backported currently in
Yeah.
14. Like you have to be able to
Glamour.
queue with your friends.
Yeah.
You
Glamour
can't.
is
how
going to
they
be in the
built
base
this.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's really interesting.
I mean, it is
want to turn it
interesting.
on.
I will be watching this closely just to see. I'm
It can't be
interested.
1-to-1 because they've already shown flying. That's another good point.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Mounts are
true.
flying already, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how they've put this together.
No.
There's
really.
going to be world firsts for mobile.
Well, yeah, but that means very little.
Yeah.
Um,
It will be interesting to see how big it becomes, like, because I mean, this was still way ahead in the future before it reaches our regions,
oh,
obviously.
it's not going to come
but
here for a while.
it'll be interesting
yeah.
because how will we be covering
Well-
this game going forward? Are we?
I mean,
hopefully we
I'm
won't.
going to be playing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think-
I will. I feel like I
happily talk
have to
about
at least as well. So
I think we'd only really have to cover something if it's notably different or something is even unique to
yeah.
the mobile game
Well,
compared to what we've experienced.
Once it releases in the West, I think we'll definitely do like a review. I think of the mobile version, but that's
Oh, we got to play Realm Reborn together, guys. On mobile.
yeah.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
God.
Oh, how are servers going to work? Is it still going to be regional, or
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there going to be DC travel? Is it going to be like just a Western global server? You know, there's a lot to think about.
there is.
Western global server sounds disgusting.
Okay,
Global.
you say that, but that is common in every other game
Yeah.
of this ilk,
Mhm.
where you usually have, you know, the global server, and then you have Japan, and then maybe Korea.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely going to be a China as well, but we'll never see it in our version of
we'll
the
never
app.
see
'cause-
those people.
No.
I mean, at the end of the
So-
day, my concern on this is money spent on it, and you know where that came from. If it was a toss up between us having a lot more content in 14 each
Mm.
patch instead of them developing this, then I'm upset that they've made this.
I mean,
but if it's
yeah.
made no difference to their development cycle, then whatever.
I mean,
It
it's
is-
made by a completely different
But
studio.
the cost, yeah, but they must.
But
have
it is
outsourced the
supervised by
cost.
Square Enix,
Yeah.
so there is
Yeah,
some
it's-
money has gone into this on Square Enix's side, obviously.
It's the guys behind PUBG Mobile, which if you've
Oh.
looked at anything into PUBG Mobile, that is the best version of PUBG.
That's
No
what
one.
I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really play it in our circles, I would say, but that
No.
is the version to play, and it's very popular in other countries.
Okay.
There's also a funny thing. So it is most likely going to be under the Level Up, I think, branch of Tencent, which makes it one linkage closer to Nikkei Goddess of Victory, because they're published, so there's gonna be a Nikkei crossover. It's gonna happen, guys.
Okay.
Our engines, the Final Fantasy 14 engine can't handle that physics, Rollo.
No,
the,
it's-
the
it's-
amount of jiggle they have is
No,
insane.
It's only gonna be a one-way crossover. It's gonna
Oh,
be like
okay.
a Shnola,
Ah.
and like a
Oh
Stinian.
no, okay.
In-
I'm saving up my coins.
This Stinian's gonna have that jiggly ass. I'm telling you.
God help us all.
Well,
Uh,
so moving on from that, there is
Yeah.
one silver lining that I think may come out of this
Mm.
based on the reveal trailer. There is only one voiced line in the reveal trailer, and I haven't been able to verify this, but I've seen people suggest that this is the case. There is one new line from Minfilia at the end where she says, "Pray return to the waking sands."
yeah.
Mhm.
I have seen people saying that that is not a Realm Reborn voice actor. So is there a possibility that this will lead to a revoicing of a Realm Reborn with the new voice actors?
Oh.
That would be
Yeah, I've seen that
diabolical
too.
if it is
If-
mobile exclusive.
Well,
for the
oh.
If
redub.
they surely they would not make it mobile exclusive.
No.
If they do that, I think they would. There's no reason for them not to backport it into the game because that's significantly less work for them.
I know, but
Yeah.
like the way these mobile games go, like if you look at like League of Legends, like Wild Rift versus the main one, the feature crossover after launch,
Yeah.
they're very different games now. Could
That's
easily
true.
see something similar happen to 14.
Mm.
Chat brings up a good point. It might explain why there was less voice acting this patch.
Don't see that's
Yeah, see,
Only 5
You're
years, though.
taking
It's
things
5
away
years
from the main
development.
game. It's not.
I
and
am
don't
sharing the
accept it.
concern that if 14 Mobile is starting to take stuff away from the main game, that's a problem. You know, like
Yeah, I'm not okay.
we
with that.
know that Square Enix loves mobile games, and I think they would. This is like their wettest dream that they're about to release is the Final Fantasy 14 Mobile, because that's gonna make them so much money. And
Yeah.
14's like subsystem is old timey. Not a lot of people. A lot of people are turned off by sub-based games. A mobile
Yeah.
game where you don't really think about all the shit you buy. You're like, it's just $5, and then like
Exactly.
an hour later, it's just
Yeah.
$5, and then you at the end of the day, you spend like $100. That's they love that shit.
They are so like mobile games compared to like their operating cost, disgustingly cheap.
Mhm,
Yeah.
to run.
Yeah.
Like if you get 1,000 something whales for your game, usually like you're set.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything
Yeah.
else. So I'm interested, and I will definitely be playing most likely a lot of it, because it's something you kind of do while doing other stuff. It seems like so. I'll tell you how it goes. I'll
Yeah.
keep an eye on it.
I'm not gonna doom and gloom this yet. There's no reason to. This game is probably gonna be fine. It's gonna be probably big in China, and then it's gonna
Oh,
be
for sure.
a side note in the West. I think it'll be probably not as big, and that'll be that.
But what if it's the bigger game?
Yeah, that is the nightmare scenario, isn't it?
We can all
Well,
move
I've
on
seen,
with our lives.
I've seen people bring up the quote that I always come back to, is that the only time I'll shut down this channel is the day Final Fantasy 14 goes free to play.
All right,
And
wrap it up.
yeah, it's like it's over. Here it is,
Nice,
folks.
guys.
But this is technically a separate game, so it doesn't count. But
It's even marketed differently. A lot of the time when you see it referred to online, they specifically say FFXIV Mobile.
yes,
It doesn't even use the full Final Fantasy 14 title, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
right.
So
Yeah.
I think did the article also say it's been 5 years in development, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
5
yeah.
years.
Which
Okay,
is
so it's
insane.
been a
Jesus
pretty
Christ. So since the launch of Endwalker,
Yeah.
well, before the launch of Endwalker.
Yeah.
Guys,
that's why
do the graph on when the game started sucking and see if it ties into when this died.
no,
Jesus Christ.
it's a joint venture between several companies, I think, technically. So I think there's, in terms of investment, it's pretty spread out, with Square Enix having the biggest kind of control, I think, I guess
Mhm.
you could say.
Yeah.
So I don't think it affected 14 that much, if it
I'm-
really did.
I hope not.
Quickly going back to jobs, I think it is going to take more inspiration from Modern 14 than Base 2.0, because as you can see there, the Summoner has a carbuncle, which is not really used in original 2.0 A Realm Reborn for a Summoner.
See, but that's what makes it interesting, Yuri. You're right, because even if you had just the level 50 rotation of somewhat, last couple expansion jobs, they're very weak experiences.
Yeah.
I agree.
It is not a good time for most jobs, and I don't think they want to lead with that foot of A Realm Reborn being like bad jobs overall. So I think they have to kind of base it a bit more, at least in terms of design and how it used to work on those eras,
Mhm.
But maybe it might
I
not.
don't know if that necessarily has to be based on those eras. They might go in a completely unique direction.
That's yeah, it could have a totally different kind of flow in general for
I
all
think
jobs.
that's the only way they have to go. They have to make it different for
Yeah,
this.
we can't just have
for
a
mobile.
one-to-one copy. more or
Especially,
less.
I mean, think about all the skills that you have. And they're not going to have, like Rollo said, we're probably going to have like 5 skills on screen. So, and they're going to be like combo ones. And yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be much closer to your PvP hotbar, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. Okay, so there you go. Final Fantasy 14 Mobile.
Let us know what you
It's
think.
We'll be
coming.
there.
We'll be
have
there.
our FC. We'll
Don't
be
speak
world,
for all of us.
We'll be world first ultimate raiders. Only on mobile though, because we suck on the PC.
Yeah.
or the normal
God.
only touch baby controls we can handle.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming we're all going to be there because it's free. I mean, we might as well check it out.
I'll check it out until they start asking for money.
Yes,
Yeah,
same. I'm not
I'll
gonna.
see.
I've spent enough money in my like. If you combine all the money I've spent on this game, for the oh god, how many years has it been now? 13 years that I've
Don't even
played, if
try
I
and do the
include
math, you're
1.0.
gonna be sad.
Yeah, I think I've paid enough. Okay. Moving on then to
Oh, nothing.
Oh.
Remember the little ship that was
Oh.
covered up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw what that was, Lucio. This is for the Pandaemonium post.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, we had an empty slide for some reason. Okay, spoiler warning then. We're in the spoiler section of the episode. We're going to talk about
thing where it bonks. Bonk.
Did I not add that?
You got rid of that. I think.
And then I got rid of. Shit.
Yeah, just imagine the bonk. Go bonk.
Yeah, bonk. We're going to talk about the Alliance Raid, and we're going to talk about the Pandæmonium stuff, and Pelupelu, and what was the last one?
Hall of the Novice.
Hall of the
Hall of the
Novice.
Novice.
That's
Oh.
right.
Juno, Pandæmonium, Pelupelu, Hall of the Novice.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gonna its own bullet point right there.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with the big one. Pandemonium Quest. No, just kidding. Okay, Juno. The 11 raid. Yeah.
Can I just say, the way this starts is so fucking weird. Just fucking Hubigo Messenger in the right plaza
Makes
of
no
Tuliolao.
Yeah, we've been summoned.
It's a little quick.
That's
Yeah.
how they
Getting
usually
into the
do it,
story. It's a
though.
little bit too
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, but it just feels weird because it's a nobody. Like, if
Yeah.
it was an NPC that we recognize, like if Buckle Jar Jar came out to us, that was, like, it would feel more appropriate.
Yeah.
He
He's
said just sent
engaging
a little
combat.
missive. Someone has to, like, bring it. It's just a messenger.
Please come meet me in the forest. Signed, BKJJ.
Yeah. So we essentially
Love BKJJ.
so we get summoned
That's
to, and
okay.
we go to Mamuk, which is, I mean, the perfect place for the 11's storyline
true.
to start, because Mamuk also
Yes, it
exists in
Well,
11.
other than obviously like Vanadine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Which is
invites the most base conflict.
it is, because the person that is introduced as the 11, well, we don't know who he is. I think he's supposed to represent like someone who's
He's
a player character, or
It's an Elvan, right?
An Elvan.
Yeah, he's an Elvan.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't even know what class he's meant to be. He's like a paladin, but he's
like
in
a-
11.
Is that what they had?
Yeah, in 11 it's probably. No,
well, they do
wasn't
have
that
paladin in
1.0?
11.
They do? Okay.
Could be a
Sentinels.
gladiator as well. No,
Yeah,
gladiator is
yeah.
1. God, I'm mixing them up now. Paladin. So, anyways, yes. So they're doing like this thing where it's like, oh, I'm in Mamuk. I must have been taken prisoner, because in Mamuk, the Mamulja in 11 are they're still beast
Dirty
tribes.
beast
Let's just,
tribe
they're
people.
dirty
Yeah.
beasts.
Don't touch me, you filthy lizards.
Yeah,
Get out of
yeah.
here.
Like the
Yes.
Emulja.
Yeah, they do imply, actually. So it is important to know that the Elvan seems to be someone who has been on a player's in a player's party, not the
Party.
player
He's been
himself.
movement.
We'll get to that. I know
Or
a little
herself.
bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or herself, yeah, depending. So we start with Mamuk. In Mamuk, I don't exactly remember how it all
He
kicks
wakes
off.
up. They've found a guy. He wakes up. They have a weird, funny moment where they say, "Oh, Mamulja, you're gonna eat me."
Yeah.
Then they say BKJJ is having a fight
Yes.
with
With
GLJJ.
Yeah.
The reincarnation of GLJJ, because they have the ash thing,
Oh yeah.
like the simulacrum thing.
Yeah.
I only said
Mhm.
BKJJ, by the way, because the voice actor has that in his profile now.
Oh,
It's
really?
so fucking funny.
It's immediately in my new favorite
BKJJ.
thing. I love that BKJJ.
I hope you're enjoying the game, sir. Whenever I think you started today. Good for you.
Oh, is he playing?
have
That's cool.
fun.
Enjoy.
Um,
Yeah, basically we go over there, and then there's the cutscene with what's her name?
Prish.
Yeah.
Krish and
and GLJJ.
and the smoke
the smoky
formed.
Gulul.
Yeah. The Bakul Jar Jar Smoke Man.
No, Gulul.
Gulul.
Oh no,
Jar
Gulul.
Jar, man.
God, Gulul.
And
I have to keep
Bakul.
my Jar Jars in order here.
Binks.
So yeah, they're fighting.
It's all very odd, and there's
It
a
is
funny
very
little
odd.
portal. And it
Prish
kind
sees
of.
us.
Oh yeah, she sees
Prish
us.
sees us as Tauruses.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tauruses.
She's
void
Very
sense.
ugly models.
yeah, 11 models.
Cool.
Well, they are from 11, but they are in our game as
They
well.
are.
What,
They are.
Oh, they are.
In our
Okay.
game, in our game, Tauruses are void sent. What are they in 11? Are they just monsters?
Yeah, they're just
Okay.
monsters. Yeah.
Why is she so aggressive? Why does she hate them so much?
Monsters.
She hates monsters.
Well, also, this is when she's still in her mad phase.
She is.
She is. But
the-
like, she inherently dislikes Tauruses.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't nice.
I think it might be a reference to something. You know, everything's a reference. That's something that I have to say. Everything's a fucking reference in this game.
Mhm.
It is.
I would say
exhausting,
almost
or
annoying.
in this quest line. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, she somehow I don't remember how the portal thing appears, but that was funny. You know, it's just fun to see the 11.
Oh, is that
thing.
what it was?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that was it.
where they just go in there. She just goes in. Her and Galul go into the beam, and I think the paladin follows. We're going very beat by beat now. I don't know why.
The paladin doesn't follow because he was Preach punches him, and then he can't follow us.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
But Bakul Jar Jar charges ahead, and that's what allows
Yeah.
us to go in and
BK
start the
And
raid.
then we get the actual
Yeah.
raid, which is the main
Yeah.
piece of content.
Oh yeah, also Prish calls Golul Jaja Olmea,
Ulmia.
which is her
That's
friend
true.
from the game.
But it's all very.
Is that actually a character? in
Yes,
the game?
yes, that's her
Yeah.
best friend. Okay, and then we get into Juno.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God. Good.
Yeah,
Very good.
it
really
is.
Yeah.
Very
enjoyable.
good, yeah.
It
It's
is
a very
I
fun
mean-
raid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I would say very enjoyable, but it is tiring for Lakil. He's an old man now.
No,
Well,
it
no,
is
the
not
one we played
tiring.
on Friday
No,
was
Play the
really
game.
short.
it is tiring when people don't know what they're doing. Okay, this can be a long raid. This can be if you're not lucky, it can be a long raid.
You're a 14 mobile old man.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. That's for Zoomers, actually.
Actually,
This Alliance Raid suffers from the thing that they've done in quite a lot of Alliance Raids recently, where a semi-competent party of one can very, very slowly still do a lot of the mechanics. So it can just really drag if people
Except
Yeah.
the third boss. The third boss
Yeah,
can't. At least the first part of the third boss can't be
no,
solved by
that's
well,
true. Yeah,
done by one party alone.
yeah.
Did you like the mobs in the first area? The fucking goblins and the
There were
goblin. What are
nothing.
the goblin things?
The-
What are the fucking mechanical things that they had with them?
Goblin. I don't remember what they're. I don't remember what they're called, but usually they would spawn more mobs when you attack them. But replicas, is that what they're called? Yeah, the goblin replicas.
The trash.
The trash
in
is
the beginning
trash.
was very trash.
It's so
The
fast
trash
that you
they
barely
found with
know
the
what you're
Aquarius
attacking.
Thing was good because apparently that's a reference.
That's an NM.
This is
But for non-Air 11 players, all of the NM references were meaningless.
Yeah.
But
this
nice.
is a very interesting raid because it's the first time I think since what's it called Weeping City. I think Weeping City that has had 3 sets of trash.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which is interesting because it feels like I would say it feels like a step backwards, but it doesn't feel annoying.
Well, it is
I don't mind
11,
it
so I
either,
feel
because
like it is appropriate that 11 has this in its raid. You know,
The
it
first
is.
guys don't have
Mhm.
much. I think the goblins, when they die, do a small AoE or something. I can't remember.
Mm.
Aquarius doesn't do a whole lot, but Despacito has quite
Despot.
interesting mechanics,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Well, he was
so
an.
the
I
fact that some of them actually have decent
Aquarius has a
mechanics
mechanic.
is
I think he still has the mechanic with well, it doesn't actually do as much damage as it did, but no, I don't remember its attack. But the attacks are references of it's
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
for fun. I mean, it is still trash. Despot does a little more, but
Despot had a lot. He just drags you in and
yeah.
This.
What do you think of Preach?
Preach,
really
yeah, the
good
fight, Preach fight. It's
Preach
good.
is fun, but not very difficult, which I like.
Yeah.
It's a
bit
good
repetitive.
opener.
It's busy enough.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
very funny when you land on the spikes and you do like the fucking Tom and Jerry youch.
Yeah.
I've not seen that yet.
I haven't done that
I've
yet.
I've
No,
either
I've-
fallen off the edge by not paying attention or landed in the right spot.
I saw someone-
into a spike.
Someone posted a video on Twitter or whatever. I saw
It happened to
funny.
me. I didn't understand the mechanic at first, and then I was like, "Oh, this is fucking Looney Tunes."
Yeah.
Is this an 11? Did I do that in 11 too?
No. You never left the ground in 11.
yeah.
You never. Yeah, that's great. There's a lot of like audio and visual cues for the bosses, which is fun. And then Aquarius. Well, there's also like when you enter that section, I never remember the tree of.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name now.
Gosh darn it! There's like a party that appears on the side.
It's trying to kill Aquarius themselves.
Well,
The
I don't think they want to kill Aquarius though. They want to run away because
No, they mention at the start they say they want to, but then when they get there, they say, "Oh, there's other enemies around Aquarius. We can't take them all by ourselves."
I see. Okay, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to take Aquarius.
It's the largest tree in the sanctuary.
I mean, we have a
Caesar.
significantly larger party than they did. They had 3. We had 24.
Yeah.
Are the max party sizes is like ever that big of a party anywhere? Or it's not like
Yeah. I think in what is the highest number? I think it's just 5 for a normal party. 5. Yeah.
But you don't have like alliances or anything in 11, right?
Unless they've added that as a feature after I left 11. 6 is party. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they've. I don't know. I'm sure someone will tell us in chat or in the comments. I don't know. I don't think anything at this scale. I think you would just go in as like a 6-man party and then just have multiple people and then just try to coordinate together because they're open dungeons. They're not instance.
You
Oh,
couldn't
right,
do
okay.
like.
Yeah.
Could you do? I don't know if you could do bigger ones, like bigger alliances.
You can't do a lot, but remember, you're all in the same zone,
Exactly,
so
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
just coordinate
Use
through
chats.
shout. Yeah. 6 is highest party and 18 for alliance. There you go. That's
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So we do Aquarius, and then we go to Fafnir.
Fafnir
Fafnir.
the Forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah. Fafnir the Forgotten.
Fafnir
His
is
fight's
fun.
good.
He's quite punishing in terms
He's
of his
very
mechanics.
punishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was
And
the
after
easiest
the
one
first,
though.
he only telegraphs once for each mechanic, and then you have to know the signals, which I like.
Yeah.
And Lakil appreciates the ads.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
it
the
was
darters.
so fun going through because before
Yes.
every fight, and even before every like NM and each different section, he's like, "Oh, in 11 in this part, like the darters people would pull the darters in, and then it happened." And I was like, "I'm gonna be quiet."
and then when we get to the gardens, Lakil's like, in this part, I think there was an NM called Despacito. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, and then you appeared. It's
Yeah.
very enjoyable.
Yeah, that was fun. So
Then you
very
get teleported to the gardens of Rauan.
yeah.
Rauan.
Which has
Ruan
nice little
Garden.
messages from people that were like would have been adventuring around this place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is neat, and there's some that are quite hidden, but you can always go back after.
Oh yeah, I read them all, and I was like, oh,
They're cool.
these are references I don't get, but I
Yeah.
guess that's cool.
Yeah.
Then it's the Archangels.
And it's the
which is
Archangels.
Poster boy kind of, one of the 2 poster boy kind of people that everyone was speculating.
This is
other
I
than
think the best
Shadow
fight.
Lord.
In
This the most mechanically interesting, having
Yeah.
3 distinct enemies that they all have unique mechanics you have to look out for, and it's very busy.
Yeah.
I really like the guillotine attack where he's like very slowly cordoning off a bit of the arena, and if you don't notice, it suddenly just grows and you get destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of Good King Mongolmog but like
Yeah.
a better refined version of it.
Yeah,
Like,
and it had
Yeah.
even that thing with where he's like gonna scythe the whole arena. Like he has an audio cue so
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
can tell when it's happening as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
And
lots of stuff
there's
to
a-
look out for.
There's a part where you actually have to interrupt an enemy that's being protected by another one.
It's
Mhm.
like an enhanced version of Cruise Chaser and that sort of those fights where it has a little shield.
It's very funny when people okay, so
then
he
they go-
he gets the interrupt thing for the skill, right? Was being protected, and
Mm.
people
They
always go
waste
for the
it.
interrupt.
They
Yeah,
all
and then
waste
it's
it.
like you break the shield. It's like, but you don't have the interrupt now because everyone tried to do it when he was shielded.
Yep.
I'm a
Yep.
big fan.
Very
I'm a big fan
funny.
of that.
Very funny.
Yeah.
It's,
think this is
it's
the
simple but
roughest
punishing.
one.
Oh,
If,
for sure.
um,
Yeah.
If people aren't
Really,
on top
no, I've seen more deaths on the last boss.
Really? Okay. I feel like this was the most the one that
I
seemed to
think
take
a
the
lot
longest
can
and people
go-
aren't like trying, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it requires a bit of focus, yeah. But a Shadow Lord requires quite a bit of focus.
That's true.
Shadow Lord's very punishing if you get hit by even just two mechanics.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're cool. Archangels are cool.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
get a slightly different experience if you're going as, each alliance. in
Yes.
different mobs.
Shadow Lord's fun because of how it combines sometimes even just like multiple untelegraphed mechanics.
Mm.
Shadow Lord is a very neato fight, and it has a lot. You have to pay attention a lot during it.
Yeah.
If you miss even one of the cleaves, you just have to trust other
Mhm.
people. So,
Yeah.
pretty quick.
It's nasty.
It's a good fight though.
it is
Shadow
good.
Lord's a
Yeah.
really good
Mhm.
fight.
But
This
that one
is-
can get long.
Arena changes are good too.
Yeah.
Some of the most enjoyable
It's-
fights since the Stormblood Alliance raids.
Yeah. What was Stormblood Alliance race again?
Yeah, that was
the-
Evilise.
Oh,
yeah,
Evilise.
they're
Oh, yeah.
Evilise, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, none of the ones in Nier I would ever want to do again.
I don't
No.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mechanically, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
They were fine maybe at the time on some of them, but I'm over it. I liked quite a lot of the ones in the 12 though. The 12.
I
ones.
think a lot of the 12 ones have interesting mechanics that are undertuned, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a shame.
too it's
They
too
didn't,
simple.
they didn't try hard enough to make it balanced enough around
No.
longevity. Like even some of the cool ones, like Byrogot's Arena and Nolthal's like splitting
Yeah.
the arena and stuff. Like you just never get to enjoy them anymore.
No.
I hope the same doesn't happen for this though, because that
It's-
on day one they were fun.
I
and,
think it is
I can't.
cursed. Every Alliance raid will get cursed eventually because you run them
I
too
guess.
much.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
while they're relevant, I think I hope they stay at around this level
Yes.
from going forward.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
they've really hit a really good sweet spot with like difficulty balance right now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're not listening to people who are bad at this game.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
The
I-
PvE hasn't been this good, maybe ever in like dungeons. Like
Right.
the PvE is really good right now.
Yeah.
You can get better if you keep playing, I promise.
Yeah.
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 Otherwise,
Things can
if
be a little
not,
hard.
Final Fantasy 14 Mobile is due within a couple of years.
That's true. That's true.
I hope there's like an auto chat message for mobile. It says I'm using touch control.
Okay, so yeah, the fight, it's good.
Good raid, really good raid. Cool
I
rewards.
was a little, there was a part of me that was like hoping there would be like a chest hidden somewhere that you could open, but you had to guess.
Oh.
Remember in 11 you have to
Oh,
guess
the
the
stupid
combination.
number thing.
Yeah, I was kind of
I
hoping
would
for that,
hold
but
up the raid so much.
yeah, but that didn't happen. Maybe the next one. There's still two
It
more.
could be the final chest. It could have like an individual chest that you can open for a small reward.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The reward system change with the
Orchestrion
music,
rolls.
the orchestral rolls.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
very clever. I want them to
It's
continue
because
that.
there's so many. There were
That's
only
true.
3 orchestrions songs each for all of the
Yeah, this is like 7,
previous
8,
raids.
9? Like it's a lot.
This is 10.
10. Oof.
10 songs. So
And I haven't got
mean-
a single one so far.
me neither.
I mean, it's easier work for Soken. He just needs to pick which ones they are and then and use them appropriately because
That's true.
there's no remixes this raid series.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
the same
that's
as the
true.
12.
Yeah.
Is
Well, I
same
mean,
as
it's-
E-Release.
Later on, I think there'll be some decent remixes.
Oh, for sure.
There were no remixes in the E-Release raid, Rollo.
No, that's true.
There was no,
Sometimes
never
the
mind.
music's just good enough, though.
11's music is good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
in many cases. Well, I don't know how much Uematsu did not make all of the music in 11, but he is responsible for a lot of
he's
the
God.
initial ones.
Yes.
He did work with the team. There's a very good interview with him and the other composers on the. Is it on the Square Enix website?
We Are Vanadil.
It's like We Are Vanadil.
It was part of We Are Vanadil. Yeah, it was part
Yeah.
of the 11 website stuff.
Yeah, so if
Yeah,
you're
get
interested
on
in that,
it.
you should definitely go check that out. So
The gear is
Not my
Marmite.
favourite.
It's a bit
Even
Marmite.
died.
I think the way it dies is quite pleasant, and I don't hate it,
I
but I
agree.
appreciate that it's quite standard.
This is one of the gear sets I think will be better used in pieces for other
Oh,
glamours.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the full sets even died a different. It's ill.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
yeah.
At least it's thematic.
Yes. It is. I just pass on that gear. I don't have no desire to have it.
Really? Oh, okay.
I
I'm gonna try and
think-
get a
I mean,
set
it's
for
useful
casters.
for your other jobs.
Sure,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
have
you
tomes
get
for
a drop.
days. I have tomes for days. I'll be fine. I don't play.
Okay.
I only play white mage. Let's be real. I never
You
play
don't need
anything
to gear
else.
it. Just craft. If you want to
Yeah.
gear up.
I'll always
get
be
the
like, oh yeah,
craft
but
set
your
over 2
other
patches.
jobs. Yeah, when the fuck do I play those? Other than when I
Yeah.
level them and then cap them and never touch them again. Just
Yeah.
maybe
And
update
you
my
don't need
my like
You
adventure.
don't even need to gear them
photo.
at 100. Just ignore them forever.
Yeah, yeah. So
The Archangel set, was that what you were expecting for gear from any of these raids?
sorry, what did you say, Georgi? My headset literally just made like a beep sound on top of what you were saying. What did you say?
Was the Archangel gear set one of the sets you were expecting for gear from this raid series?
I didn't know what I was expecting actually, but no, I did not expect archangels. I expected like just some. I expected, to be honest, random iconic 11. 11's gear is very You've seen 11's gear. It's like weird. It's like low res crisp. It's the only way I can
I
like
love
describe
it.
it.
It's got a style that's particularly
Yeah.
chunky.
Yes, yes.
I'm a big fan.
And I thought they'd just like pick some like of the best, gear and like
Mm.
make like a collection of that. Archangels, sure, but the thing is, Archangels they're iconic, but they're like they're all dressed in all black. It's just all black
Yeah.
attire with no like bells or whistles on them. It's like really clean.
Next one, we're going to get the Ares set.
Okay,
That's my prediction.
let me check that real
I
quick.
I think
have to look it
the
up, I
one
guess.
that the guy's wearing, is that the Koenig set?
That is the
I'm-
yes, Mela. That
I'm
is
just
the
looking
Koenig
at
set.
random 11.
The Koenig set is the one that the Elvan is wearing, which is
Yeah.
more of like what I would expect them to be wearing, or sorry, be getting in
With their
the
fucking
raid.
armored oven mitts.
Oh, you were talking about the Ares set, as in like there was literally a dude that was wearing that gear. Is somewhat in the game, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think one of the
It wouldn't be so
NPCs is
hard
wearing
to
it.
crisp.
Yeah, the Ares set. Yeah, one of the NPCs in Juno. When you go back, is
Oh,
it's
well, there you go.
up to
So
the-
it's not, we can't wear it.
well, no, it's the 14 version of it though.
Yeah,
So
it's the
I
14
think they
version
could-
of the
that's
Ares
fine,
set.
then. They could upgrade that.
Yeah. Well, they can upgrade it. So you want like a reskin
No, I don't-
of the Ares?
You want to
the
reskin
set
the
that's
set of
already.
gear we already have in this game.
You can get that gear, Mela. It's the what's it called in 14?
Oh God.
It's from
the Woots.
Woots.
Is
Is
it one
it,
of
is
the
it Woots?
Woots gear?
I think it might be Woots.
I think that might be one of the reskins of that
Woot
gear.
woot.
But I think
No, the Woots is the Koenig gear.
Oh, Woots is
Oh
kind.
no, right. Some of them are. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are in there. Woots
Yeah.
male. Yeah. Never
Yeah.
mind them.
So we'll see what they pick, but there's a lot to choose from in 11. I want the harness gear where you have like your tits out, like it's just like a weird like
Scorpion
leather
harness?
harness. Yeah,
They
it's,
already-
We
they already
well,
got that.
11
in,
has-
We have many harnesses.
we
in
have many
this game.
harnesses, but I want a specific harness.
Okay.
You're talking about the
Okay.
Scorpion one, right? That's already in game.
No. There's a lot of harnesses to choose from.
okay.
There's there are harnesses for days. Okay,
All
there
right.
was a lot of chest windows in 11.
I do want a little bit of side boob and armpit action.
I mean,
you know?
look
Like,
look at
Yeah.
this is a very 11 website, but like, just fucking like.
oh my god!
This man has got
with the Louis Suave.
Louis Suave. Can you imagine Louis Suave with his tatas out like that?
I hate this.
Look
I
at
don't
this
want to
slut-toted
imagine such a
Elvan.
thing.
I love
This is the
him.
worst thing I've ever seen. Why
What
did
the
you have to
fuck
show
do
me
you
like a
mean?
90
This is
It's like a
peak.
96-year-old man in a gimp suit.
No, that's gorgeous.
I think the funniest part about Lakil showing his laptop to the screen is seeing our reflections looking back at him.
Yeah.
The disappointment.
Fucking Louis Swat in the academy as a young man.
Yeah.
That was
This is every 11 player knows this gear because it's some of the first gear you get when you level,
It's
and you're
what
like,
we
I
have,
have
like
to.
the cigarettes we have.
Yes, it's
I'm
like the
gonna say
subligar.
this.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to include low-level gear as a reward.
But
from
it's
any of these
iconic. They
raids.
can make it like, you know,
That's disgusting.
it's
I could see them doing that. I mean, they
Yeah.
have tons of space in these sets or like
Yeah.
in drops
yeah,
for all these raids.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do a set that's inspired by NPCs, like they did with some of the 12 raids.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who anyone in 11. Is there any NPC in 11 that's like has super iconic gear that you just?
I
you can't
want
get
to
as a
see
player?
Sid. I know that's almost impossible, but I need to see 11 Sid with the fucking
Is he the one with
horrid
wooden
teeth. I
Mhm.
need to see Sid's big,
Do you think they'd do
scary
that?
teeth.
Oh, ew! That's it. That's what
Yeah.
it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. I love his stupid big teeth. Oh yeah, here he is. Just, you know, we're gonna just look at some pictures of Sid. Why not? Here he is, folks. 11's Sid.
No,
I
put
love
that man
him.
away.
I love him. Okay.
Can't replace showing my teeth with.
Put those enamels away.
It's been to Turkey.
We got to talk about.
Okay,
we
we need to get back to what we're talking about.
The story.
The story.
Get back on track.
Yes.
What do
so
you think
we leave.
What do you think of Serailjar being back and being the cause of this raid series?
Don't like that.
Well, we knew. Well, I'm glad. No, because we talked about this during the review of Dawntrail. Is that a lot of the NPC, a lot of the story characters disappear from the main story randomly, and people were like,
He was
"Oh,
kicked off
disappear.
the. Yeah,
he was more than kicked off.
He was executed.
well,
slashed in
so
the
we
back.
thought, right? But he survived."
Okay, Luke. Here's the thing. Once, fine, but to have a pop-up returning villain in both the MSQ and the side raid storyline in the same patch, annoying.
No, you know what this has taught me, Mela? It's the Serailjar can't backstab someone for shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Serailjar can't do anything, and also Sphene just reappearing. Like, it's just too much.
We never saw him die. We never
just
saw.
saw him
He
fall.
fell into like a weird
It's
void
not-
underneath.
It's
so,
not the first time we've seen someone fall and then turn up later.
Yeah.
But wasn't it a cut where I thought he got cut and there was like a fade to black, right?
No, it wasn't fade to black. He got slashed,
Yeah.
and then we see him fall down.
Rana, the timeline is very simple. He was executed and kicked over a void.
Stop saying executed.
He
where
wasn't executed.
He then fell and somehow ended up in the ethereal rift.
Yeah.
But he was able to
worlds
crawl in. No,
and
he
ended
crawled
up-
through the
it's
portal.
All bullshit. And then he just appeared in 11.
Yeah.
And suddenly got
If-
loads of
Mela-
electrope.
He had dreams of 11.
Yeah.
Stupid
He
plotline.
he saw Vanadil.
What is this?
Now this is the weird thing. So I knew that they
and
had.
then recreated it with electrope.
Well, this is good.
Electrope has many potentials,
Okay.
Ed boy.
Let's talk about Electrope in a
Stupidest
second.
plot.
But what is been the most important thing for people is to know how Vanadil and Eorzea exist. Like, what is their relation?
Yeah, luckily they don't, and he just had a dream and recreated it.
Yeah.
Well, he said
Well, they do exist in some sense, but it's not a shard.
it is
as far as we
not,
know.
seemingly not a shard. So that
No.
is good, I think, because if it is just if Vanadil had been a shard, to me kind of lessens the impact of everything that happened in 11. You know what I mean?
for
Like,
sure.
because in
Yeah,
the
it
end, it
would-
was
it
just
would
a
be
fucking
silly.
reflection of another.
Yeah,
It's a
I
lesser
wouldn't have-
shard of a greater whole.
Wow, rude.
I mean, that is what it is. But
Rain.
sorry, it's
no
the
one
truth
likes
hurts. So that's kind of interesting to think about. That the
But
Vanadil
also
is
more
different.
questions, surely. 'Cause
Yes.
then it's like, what the hell happened? Instead of it being a reflection where he could have had some ancestral vision of it or whatever, or it was connected somehow
Well,
through the well, we know the technology with the key and the portal connects shards.
yes.
So then that's already out the window. He just
But
fell
he
through the
appeared-
rift and
he
had a
fell through the
random
rift.
vision of 11.
He
Which-
didn't fall through the rift. Didn't he say he crawled to the portal?
Oh yeah, that's what.
How?
No, that's
He's not dead, Mailer! You
But
can
how
still
did he-
crawl when you're not dead.
What? Crawl up the chasm?
I don't
And
know.
Zeral just kind of let him, I guess.
yeah.
He saw that it wasn't dead. He was like, whatever. You're probably finished off, I guess.
Yeah.
See ya.
I mean, I would assume he's probably dead. I wouldn't need to, like, investigate further after looking over the edge.
I don't think we're
Finish the
supposed
job.
to think
Bigger
too much
priorities.
about how he got there. The fact is, he
I
did.
think that's the most imperative part.
That is not the most
Is it?
imperative part. The most
I don't
imperative
think it
part
matters that
is that
much.
he saw a vision of a whole different world, and then it's like, oh yeah, Electrope's kind of cool. Let's recreate this memory with Electrope. Now that's, I think, a bigger thing to discuss. How the
Yeah, I
fuck
agree.
does that work?
I mean, it makes he does explain it, and the context of it does make sense. I think I'm not gonna push him too hard on that, and that it's the same as it's similar to the smoke ghost
we
magic.
used to
that-
have Elegance. Now we have Electrope. So
I'm
that's
not
good.
Yeah, I don't know about. I think it's a lot for me to make the leap that this lizard, who
It's rude.
did
Oh my
get
God.
killed, he did
Never gonna get over
killed,
this.
No, you don't get to say that.
You didn't
But
get.
that was retconned
Did
to
you
not
see
get
his
killed.
death certificate?
Suddenly finds a cube of Electrope and knows how
That's-
to create a world
You know what
out
else?
of it.
You know what else we saw, Mailer? We saw Kettenram get killed.
That's
and
true.
You know what? He's not dead either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, it's part of the course with this game, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So what's your point?
We saw Nanama
We saw Namel.
Ulnano die, and then she didn't. She was just asleep. So it
yeah.
just keeps happening in
Yeah,
this
why
game.
does this fake? Chat's correct. Why are you so caught up on this fake out death? Why
Yeah.
does
Not
this
caught
one,
up.
like-
I
It
don't
does sound like
them-
you are.
I don't like
that
them
tone of
bringing
voice.
it two times in one patch to bring back a very recent villain.
Uh-huh. Well,
They
we
just
knew
can't let them die.
when we talked about this during our Dawntrail review, I'm pretty sure we all agreed that there is a huge likelihood that he's going to appear again because he died too abruptly. He got removed
said-
from the story too quickly. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if we necessarily said he'd be back, but we did say that there was a lot of
It's
missed
gonna be-
potential with him.
Yeah.
There was missed potential, we said. Yeah.
Or maybe
he
that's
would
what
have
we
been
said.
an
I'm
interesting
thinking about-
person to explore further.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess they listened to us and thought, well, all right.
I
then.
think-
Yeah, and he can use Electrope.
I think my real question here is what pulled him so much to summon these things, you know?
Mm.
Because he gets Electrope. He's like, okay, cool. I can create essentially anything, right? And I've already done this, or my culture does this before with things like the Galul Jaja Shade or whatever.
Yeah.
But instead he gets his dream. Like, what does he find so appealing about this world in particular?
Oh
The
yeah.
conquering nature of the Mamul Jar in Vanadil.
I guess
Yeah,
that
he
might
thinks
be.
that they will be better than the Mamulja here, and his goal is to put the Shade Galulja back on the throne
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
through
That's
the
the most solid part of the
help
plan.
of
Powerful.
Electrope created villains from a magical world that he found when he fell asleep.
Yes.
Hmm.
Essentially. He wants.
Maybe it will all be neatly explained by the end of the cycle, but
It always does. There will always. There's always an
his
explanation.
current actions are odd.
They do seem a little random.
He's a bit addled.
Yeah.
I think the power play part makes a sense. Like he wants control. That part makes sense. I just
I think
question
he's
the
always
11
wanted-
part of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He's always wanted to be a puppet master based on how he attached
Yeah.
himself to Zeraldra.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sort of see the reason for like the obsession with Vanadil if that's the only thing he saw through the interdimensional rift.
Yeah.
Like if you have a vision of a whole other world, like a very extensive vision seemingly
Yeah.
of another world, I think it's pretty reasonable to want to try and like understand and recreate why did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a paintbrush might, it's one way of doing it, but I suppose recreating.
I mean, this is
entirely out
not
of
the kind.
electric-
I mean, is this in base 7.0 Mailer? Did he seem like the kind of person that would be satisfied with a paintbrush
No
recreation
but
of what he
the
wants?
unfortunate thing about 7.0 Surreal Jar is that he never saw the part where an entire culture who have used electric for thousands of years and are very competent at using it did a full invasion force onto Ral and lost, and now he's trying to do that again with about 6 people from his dreamland. So it's not going to work out probably.
Did he see that stuff?
He didn't
Was
see that. No, he
did
didn't
not
see
see
that,
that.
which
He
is
did
the
not.
issue.
That's his point.
If he
Okay,
had
okay.
seen that, maybe he wouldn't bother with this shitty plan.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's combining electrope with traditional Mamuja
It's so stupid.
magics.
I mean, I'm all for him just having a good old time with
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but it's just
I mean,
ridiculous.
11's got to get in the game somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
all it's theme park.
I
It's just
get
for
it.
the references.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be super competent.
Yeah. Ooh.
At least they're trying something.
Yeah.
I will say, and I'm being kind.
Yeah,
I say
okay,
this with love.
Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I this was a very good Alliance raid. It was very fun. But as a person, I respect 11. I've not played it.
Oh,
Not
boy.
because I don't hate 11. Let me say that. I didn't play
Mailer
it.
and I
Time
don't
to
hate
moderate
11.
the comment section this week. I
I know.
see.
I want people to know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying, like where I'm
I
coming
love
from.
11.
I simply
Shut
did
the
not
fuck
play
up.
11 because I tried doing the fucking online play shit and I got so annoyed and I gave up. So that's the only reason why I
Well,
didn't play.
getting into
Uh-huh.
11 is one of the greatest challenges,
It is
barriers
true.
to entry.
Even
of
11
playing
players will
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I got filtered by the login menu. I'm
Yeah.
admitting that right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's fair.
Some people still get filtered by trying to log into, trying to like first get into 14.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
still,
now they
it's
have
still
14
not
mobile for
exactly.
Yeah. Now they have 14
Mm.
mobile, so it'll be easier.
But
But yeah,
So, Rollo, finish what you were saying.
so when saying this, I think the references here come off as slightly annoying.
Oh, really?
And
this
it
is
is-
the near defender
it-
here.
Yeah.
Well, no, I even said that was mostly just references for like me essentially, but it gives off the same vibes that I was getting of early parts of Omega, where I'm like, oh, it's just the thing,
Oh,
like it's just like that's cool, that's the thing.
Uh-huh.
And
I know what you mean.
That thing is not for me, and I am accepting that, right? I'm just saying, as a person who is not play, who gets these references, or
Do you mean that it sort of feels forced?
not
to just
forced?
be in the game rather than like being a comprehensive piece within the world.
No, it is. Well, yes, partly, but I guess the thing I'm saying here, it is leaning too much into amusement park, which I know 14 amusement park MMO is what he describes it as, but it feels leading in a bit too much compared to like Ivalice, where it was a bit more integrated, and I felt a lot more engaged in that. Even as I played the Ivalice games, of course, but how they fit into the world was very interesting at the same time.
Yeah, I think
Along with
integrated
doing
12
like
a bit better.
I saw the thing, like, oh, that's the thing,
That's interesting because I thought most of the references that were here were very optional and were not really pushed in any way. Like you,
But without them,
I agree.
there-
By
Taking
references,
it
I mean
at face
ju-
value, then it's a bit of an unusual
What do you-
situation, isn't it?
I mean, I'm trying to compare it to Nier, which is literally a face slap of like a different game suddenly.
Oh
in
no,
14.
I think Nier is similar in maybe a little.
I would
think
say
there's
worse. I mean,
Nier's worse.
14 was born from 11. Remember, like
Yes.
initially it was 11 too.
I know what you're trying to say because Ivalice in our world.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Ivalice
the
is a
characters
part of
in
our
world are guardians who are like the theatre troupe are Garleans who are relations or like descendants of the Crystal Brave people or whatever,
Yeah.
and they know the story. And Ivalice is a location that has a history in our world as being occupied by Garlemald, blah 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 blah. It's very cemented, even though it wasn't initially.
Yeah.
It was all made for that raid. It feels very much part of the world.
I will say that I agree with parts of this, because I wish they did more to explain Vanadil. You know, like there's
Exactly.
there is there is that moment at the end where she does like the taco scene where she does a little bit of explanation about where she's from, Tavnazia, but not Vanadil like as a whole. There's like some they give some like breadcrumb information, but I think that also Prish isn't the person to do that. You know, she's not gonna.
I also just don't think they have any reason to explain. Like, it's not relevant to us. Why do we need all of this context for something?
Yeah.
That is...
Also, this is a game that's like 20 years old.
It's because of the way it's introduced, you know. The way it's like integrated into the world.
Like chat brings up the Crystal Tower and Ivalice. They feel so part. Like the Crystal Tower is integral to the entire plotline of all of this game at this point, but it is just a reference to Final Fantasy III, and it was at the time. It was just a theme park ride to have 3 in the game.
I think 11 has to be like this because 11 still exists, still is a real separate world. We can't integrate Ivalice into
finished.
It's not done yet, right? So it's you.
No,
you would upset 11's player base by being like, oh no, actually, Ivalice is just a fucking region now in Eorzea, and like that would cause outrage beyond belief. So
I definitely understand why it is how it is. I just, like I said, as someone who is not into that by just having, like I said, I'm sure if I did play this game, I'd be like, oh, that's neat. But I don't get as much from this. I expected more Ivalice, but what I got was like Omega and Nier.
Okay.
That's so interesting because I agree with you, Lukiel, and I'm not someone that has fully finished playing 11, and I want to.
Yeah,
it's up to you, Lukiel. But
I do want to play 11, by the way. I do. I think there are some
11.
redeeming qualities I'd like to try out. I don't hate it.
Mela, this is specifically what Soreljar says when he's retelling his story. He says, "By all rights, I should have died when he struck me down, but once the chamber was empty, the gate still open, I saw my chance. What I found when I dragged myself across the threshold was an emptiness. So he did go through the gate, a space beyond time. It was there in the dark expanse I beheld another world. And apparently in this expanse is also where a lot of Electrope was. Which is interesting because it might contribute to the idea of where Electrope comes from.
Right.
We're probably going to get more concrete answers on what happened to him when we learn more about this key then.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some people theorize, and people in chat were talking about this earlier, the idea that he's made of Electrope as well.
Now that
he's
would
not
be
actually
an
alive still.
Switcheroo.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I need to rewatch the scene where he gets struck down to remember what happens exactly there.
Yeah.
So this is the power of Electrope.
Well, I mean, there are, like, just to... Because we're essentially at the end of the quest. We don't really learn a lot about Vanadil, but we do learn that he has built this. This is a construct made of Electrope. He brings up the Walk of Echoes, which is very important.
Was all of it Electrope? Even so, everything we were in the Alliance Raid, that was all Electrope.
Yes, because when we defeated the Shadow Lord, he turns into like a box. So
Soreljar is really, he's like an Electromancer. Like he's fucking incredible at using it. Probably the best. He's better than the Alexandrians, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
they didn't come up with Juno.
Right. Exactly.
Well, they didn't have a vision of a whole other world.
But if you go to Solution 9, to Solution 9, no wallpaper, no bricks. It's all just Electrope, raw Electrope.
Yeah.
At least he turned it into nice looking bricks and shit.
The raw Electrope are the edges, Mela. You do see stuff that has been like visually altered from what base Electrope looks like.
There's shit there.
Yeah.
Soreljar is the best.
I think I think based on like what we've heard, there is a chance that the Walk of Echoes we're gonna actually see it properly. Like we might see Atomos to learn more about like how. I'm still dreaming. I just want to see like the the full Atomos.
In what respect?
Well,
Separately though.
Well, it's hard to. I think I said this last time.
I know about big Atomos, but do you mean you want to learn more about Atomos as in just to see the big one rather than changing the lore of our Atomoses?
No, I think. Well, yeah, it might expand on the lore of our Atomoses too, because the Atomos in the Walk of Echoes is the primal, the prime Atomos. It's just a big maw in the sky. We might learn more about like the nature of why he saw what he saw, how how he was able to construct all this shit. Like there must be something else. There's also the end of the cutscene of the story where he's standing in Ruan Gardens and he is talking about the next ones he wants to test from this world, and he says ancients, and I am pretty sure that's going to be the Xylart brothers. Camel. Camel Nut. I'm trying to say the real name, but not the ones that I used to remember him. Camel No, and
who the fuck is Camel Nut?
That's one of the. It's Cam. Yeah.
Cumlanaut.
Yeah, Cumlanau and Eldenarsh. Yeah. Those are the two Xylarts. They're essentially
You are speaking Greek at this point.
That's how I remember things. I give them funny names.
I tried searching
it's Camel Nut.
I got Björn Borgarnes Marsh, the Swedish military.
Well,
yeah.
So I'm not sure. Citation needed on those.
Yeah.
One of the neat things after you finish this story is that Preesh and the Elvan that we meet.
We name him.
We name him Alzal.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was so fucking shit.
Yeah, we name him
Yeah.
after they essentially get told like familiarize yourself with Tyrell, and you can actually go around and see them in various places.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
I've not gone and found them. That's cool.
No, I haven't found them myself. I've only seen people take screenshots.
Can we
so
also?
They're like Alpha and Omega.
Can we also just appreciate when they showed the fucking screenshots from 11? That's so fucking funny.
That's so brave of them.
Yeah.
I really liked the follow-up questline bits where we wandered around Juno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. I like the characters.
That is definitely where most of the 11 references is with NPCs and stuff, like the stuff they say in the speech bubbles and the locations that you can enter.
Did you like the auction?
Oh yeah, the auction section was good when you had to like.
You have a chance of completely ruining and not seeing most of the dialogue.
Yes,
which is a bit silly. But
yes.
Yeah, cool.
See,
I think if you want to skip it.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to put it given all 1,000,000 gills straight away, even on my main, because I was
you can make a saving.
Feel bad for BKJJ.
Yeah, BKJJ needs the gold.
And BKJJ was there too. I forgot to say that.
Yeah,
I like him. He's my friend.
BKJJ is the only real guy there.
True.
We didn't really talk about all the people we meet in Juno Electrope as well. That includes Preesh, supposedly.
Yes.
Supposedly, yeah.
Sarailja, when Alzal talks to him, says, "You even made me," and he's like, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah, probably.
This is very funny.
So there's something here there. So maybe Alzal came through.
Yeah.
Either the rift or the portal itself somehow.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have one real person from Vanadil here. In the same way that Iroha was here for that questline through a magic portal.
That is actually Iroha. That is her.
Exactly.
So yeah, that is
why
canon.
I want some kind. What I don't want is for the entire raid and everything around it to have just been Electro.
I think it's going to be.
I
think it's going to be revealed that Prish might also be from actual.
Yes, I would like
that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Someone should go tell Iroha, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that.
You can go home.
Hey,
maybe it should be helpful. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that Iroha is entirely optional and also time gated, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do a quest with Iroha until the end. If
That's
they do
fine.
one at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be so funny.
She
though,
is
if,
very
like,
important, so it'd be very weird that she.
If all Charlotte and
doesn't show
Prish
up.
become real, and the ending point of this questline is we manage to send them back to Vanadil, and it closes,
Yeah.
and we never talk to Iroha, that would be so fucking funny.
Let me talk to Ira's like, oh yeah, so
There was,
we opened up the
there was a
portal.
portal.
I couldn't find you though.
I don't know where you were.
I was in Doctor
I was looking all over the drowning wench for you, but I couldn't find you.
And then Iroha is like people are saying Iroha is more relevant to the Xylart anyway.
Yes,
Oh,
that's true.
wow.
So there is a chance.
Does Prish and Iroha know each other in 11? Would they know each other?
They would definitely know of each other.
They know of each other.
Okay.
They could bring
that's
her
a
in
lot.
and just say, if you've never
Do
done
my
a
quest.
just
Yeah.
say, well, you could just say like, oh, a few years ago I came through a portal, and I've been
Oh
wondering.
yeah, they
about
meet
it
in
ever
Rhapsodies of they do meet in
Ah,
Rhapsodies of Vanadil.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The part that Nikhil has the vaguest memories of.
Well, Rhapsodies of Vanadil is the last story.
Exactly.
So-
It was probably
Which
my
is something
favorite
you had to go
through
back
on
to
my
play.
main.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
enjoyed doing that on my main on 11.
Just want to reiterate, by the way, I'm okay with things not being for me. Okay,
Yeah, for
I'm okay
sure.
with that. I do like this raid. I like this raid. That's
No one's
just
gonna
my
get
feeling
you,
on
man.
it.
No
Your
one-
opinion.
No one's
is-
coming for
The
you.
11
Olo.
players are gonna kill me in my house, man.
They might.
Well, there's
but
like 6 of them.
you
and most of them
haven't
can't walk anymore,
said
they're
anything
old.
bad about 11. You're
I
good.
Yeah.
just
No, what your complaints are more along the lines of things that are an issue with how 14 has used 11. It's not about 11.
Yeah.
No.
And if you
Want to
hate
make it
on
clear.
14, you'll have a lot of friends.
This is
don't
a
you worry.
this is a love letter to 11 players. I mean, that is
Why are
clear.
you so afraid of the 11 players specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Roller,
that's-
the main 11 player is the guy who watches
think-
the Mithra video
No,
every year.
yeah, but I think that's what, because it is the unknown. All he knows is like people like that, that are watching the 11 Mithra character creator every year and nutting. That is.
Please.
Yeah.
Put him as a reference in game. I just want him in the corner watching a Mithra or
No.
something.
I mean, I'm gonna be. I'll be surprised if they do that, but I do like all the
Please.
other references they made to what players would say in
Yeah.
Juno itself.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
very fan servicey, which I think everyone expected though. Like this is a game that is so iconic, even for
I mean-
existing 14 players. Like a lot of 14 players played 11. That is just a
Of
fact.
all the Final Fantasy games, I would assume there is the greatest level of crossover between 11 players and 14 players.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was a,
Blackaroni. That's who we're talking
That
about.
was
That's
yeah,
it.
He was a good guy.
That's the Mithra guy.
yeah.
yeah.
17 years ago.
He's not been doing it recently, has he?
He hasn't.
He's been,
He
he's
said-
been
He might.
chased
he-
for many years.
Yeah. Well,
I
he
was
said
going to say
he's-
maybe he passed.
a couple of years ago. No, he announced that he was finally done, and that is.
Oh, he's emptied himself out.
He has
Yeah.
finally emptied himself, so
Yeah.
that's good for him.
Please, Blackaroni, we need you now more than ever.
There was a reference to Aldo, which I'm wondering if maybe
We
they'll.
didn't get to see him though.
We
He
didn't
was
get to
behind the
see
door.
him. Aldo is
I'm
behind the
worried
door.
that he's just not been made.
Yeah,
We might not get to
it's
see him.
possible.
Otherwise, I feel like we probably would have seen him.
but what's going to happen? Is he just going to keep making more Vanadil?
I guess so.
So do you think we're going to get because we've seen lower Juno? Is the next going to be like upper Juno?
Oh, I don't know if we're going to get more of a hub zone.
That's what I just want that. That's what I've been
I think they'll
dreaming
expand
of.
I
on it.
agree with
It
you.
looks expandable.
Yeah, it could.
It's weird seeing other players in it though. I liked it when it was empty and it was just me.
Yeah. There's the door that leads to the upper area, and that's
Yeah,
and the
she
housing area.
comments on it. She's like,
She does comment on it. Why is it closed?
So,
But maybe we
there
get
could
like
be
a
a
different.
real 11 Moogle behind there. Who got trapped.
I would love it if it was real.
Yeah.
If there was more.
Yeah.
I hope so.
They
expand on other ones. They expanded on like the Doman Enclave and a few other.
That's correct. They need to put an aetherite in Juno because fuck off, it's far away from any aetherites in Yardell.
True.
Yeah, true.
True.
Oh yeah, I'm not going back there often.
No, but like
I only went back there to do the triple triad matches that appear after you finish the story, and
there
I'm
were
not
triple
going back
triad
there
matches
anytime
in Juno.
There's 2 of them, yeah.
Oh, shit.
They're not 11 characters. They're the adventurers that are looking for treasure.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I do agree with Rollo. Like, there's some things, like there's a reference specifically to like the sub job NPC in Selbina, like where he's like, oh, I had to bring an apron, like a skull and a damselfly. It's like,
That's funny,
okay,
though.
that's
I'm
good
glad
for
they
me.
kept them in.
Funny, made me
It's cute.
chuckle.
It's cute, you know.
Yeah.
But
I think I enjoyed doing the raid more when going through it with you for the first time than when I did it for the first time.
Really, yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah.
it was really fun watching. I actually
maybe
think
that's why I'm a bit more
I'll
sour
talk
on it.
to you
Yeah.
about this afterwards. Actually,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's that really for
that's pretty much for the 11 raid.
yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
was good. The raid itself is fantastic. Lots
Oh,
of new
the
mechanics.
best.
Good.
And, yeah. Flashy and cool. Okay.
I feel like Rollo's overcompensating in his dialogue.
You don't
now
have to
because
fear the
he's
11
so
players.
fierce.
No, but he did.
11.
He did say that he liked the raid. Okay, I'll defend
I
you
really-
from
I really
the
do
11
think it-
players. He did like
the
it,
best
guys.
24 man.
Yes.
Rollo, why are you DMing me saying lol JK I hate 11?
I just saw the post. Blackaroni 1 year ago. I'm pretty tired. I think
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
it's sad. Okay, so let's move on then from the 11 raid
Yeah.
to I know you've all been waiting for us to talk about Pandæmonium. Let's just hold off on Pandæmonium because that's such a big.
It's a lot. It's
That's a
big
lot
thing
to get
talk
into.
about,
So
yeah.
let's first talk about the Pelupelu. I think let's talk about the Pelupelu
okay.
quest. This is just our first impression. We're not going to spoil the story here.
Sure, okay.
This is just because everyone's going to be on different parts of this. So let's talk just more generally, like
It's what they said beforehand that this was going to be very like
Travel
chill.
agency.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
And like nothing crazy. It's
Right.
just it's a chill, fun thing, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's all right.
There's there's no stakes or anything. It's not scary. It's nothing crazy happening, but it's lovely to be among the Pelupelu.
yeah.
I feel like there's even less for a combat society quest line. I feel like there's even less combat than normal.
So
Yeah,
little combat.
I feel like this should have been like a crafting or gathering.
I would have
one,
preferred
maybe.
crafting or gathering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish it had some prerequisite quests. I kind of like.
Yeah.
It's weird not having it, and I like the continuing storylines. I guess it's kind of nice. I have to do a little bit less work if I didn't happen to do those prerequisite quests, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind it as much because I feel like the prerequisite quests were specifically MSQ. Like she
Mostly,
references
yeah.
she
Mar
references the pink Blue. You interact with the other like the Hanu and the Moblin leaders
Mhm.
throughout the quest line. So I think it's just like I like that it works within the world already, that you don't need necessarily more information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the little blue Pelupelu woman.
Yeah.
Do you like
Yeah,
the abacus in her head?
And
Yeah.
I'm a bit bored of that.
That bit, but it's funny.
What 14 does is it finds a bit, and then it's very much like our community, actually. It finds a bit it likes, and then it overdoes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zero's
The
hat
14
thing.
community.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thunder touching
Yeah.
his glasses, and
Yeah.
now this.
Yeah.
You played the Final Fantasy 14. Does not expand it.
Hmm.
That's what the community
yeah,
fucking does.
that's it.
Everything.
That's it. I also like the music. There's 10 music.
Yes,
In
Yeah,
this.
I
music's
wasn't
nice.
expecting that.
No.
I wasn't expecting them to pretty much fully recreate the Pelupelu run-ins
Mm-hmm.
from 10 as well.
All right.
The zone they made for this society quest line is pretty big.
It
Very
is.
The hub.
expansive.
Yes.
It gets bigger.
They have.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've made like a whole new settlement essentially.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty
it's
impressive.
very cool.
And a fourth aetherite.
Yes.
Who knew they had the
Aetherite.
technology?
It's crazy.
Don't-
Wild
you don't
times.
need that etherite. I'm gonna be
If
honest.
only those in the hinterlands were aware of such technology.
Yeah.
Well, all theirs exploded, and then they thought, well, we'll not bother trying.
No, we can do with just one.
The
In
Albed
one
run the ins
end.
in the 10, sorry.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
The what
the
is?
Albed run the ins in 10, not
Sorry,
Pelupelu.
Oh.
Albed?
The Albed. Don't do a walkout. Do not.
It's bullshit, brother. They don't know. They don't think so.
Yeah.
Whacker.
I think
Yeah, I love it.
I do have to say, though,
structure's slightly different too, which is
I hate it when I pick up a quest and it's one of those quests that are like all the way in between the aetherytes. You know what I mean? Like in the.
yeah. I don't mind them. I'm not. The only one I found annoying is the carry the crate.
Yeah. Oh God.
Just because all
It's
I
so
think they're
short,
also
though.
It is
boring.
short.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just boring.
It's not the worst carry one we've
no,
ever had.
absolutely not. It's just I just don't like those quests very
Yeah.
much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Leading towards good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right.
Oh,
I don't hate it.
When I got the I think that was. It might not have been the daily. I don't think I've ever had it since. This might have been the unlock quest or whatever. But when you had to do the trim the alpacas.
Oh,
Was that
No, you fumigate them.
Fumigate. Was that part of the unlock quest or is that a daily? Because
No, that's a quest. That's a daily.
yeah.
I've had this once, and I remember doing it. I'm like, oh, I hope I get this every
The
time.
one where you like
Because you
ointment
literally
them,
just
whatever?
walk over there and
It's
just
just
do
right
it.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that
There's
only
ano-
twice though.
There's another one that's very similar to that later on. That's pretty much just in the settlement as well.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
there's one that takes you up north slightly where you just talk to a guy. And
Well,
Yes. Oh,
the
the
more you
priest,
unlock,
yeah, yeah.
the more you unlock, the more you have to go up to the northern part,
Yeah.
which is
Oh.
not northern
The
because it's
southern
actually
part.
southern, but the higher up part.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
see.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
But yeah, so
But
far
it's
it
fine,
looks.
it's cool.
It feels more impact. Like this is a bigger. It feels bigger. You know, this like I think it's just because the settlement is so big. Like the area
Yeah.
around is so big. Like
yeah,
when you
even though it's the
progress.
least like impactful
story wise,
wise,
yeah.
it feels like you've done more to the world than ever before.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Yes.
Yeah, the Arcasodra was very impactful to the world, Mela.
Which one
Yeah.
were they?
The elephants. Yeah.
the blue elephants.
The hippo ride, Georgi. Hippo riding is a cultural obsession.
Yeah.
I hope they somehow find a way to incorporate like the travel ad agency thing for the expansion, like the ads we actually got.
The Tortoral stuff.
Yeah, Tortoral stuff. I
Yeah,
hope they
yeah.
maybe like reference it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the Pelupelu quests, and then Hall of the we'll get to the Pandaemonium quest in just a bit.
Yeah,
but
because
first,
there's a lot to discuss there.
Georgi, you've done the
Yes, I'm the only one
Hall of the
that's done the
Novice.
Hall of the Novice, and I only did it about an hour before the podcast started because I was like, well, I guess one of us probably should do it.
Yeah.
So, it's basically what you saw on the live letter. It's just more of that. So they explain towers, they explain stack markers, splash markers, knockback, proximity, tethers. So the ones where you have to get away from each other, as well as the tethers where you have to get in front of a tether to stop it from hitting someone else. And look away mechanics. That's basically all I remember. So it teaches you all those things, which is still better than what the game does otherwise.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have friends that are playing the game and that should be that you want to learn basic mechanics, just direct them that way. And you get the ring that gives you extra experience up to level 60. So combined with the earring, that's even more the good experience that
It's
you can
worth
get.
it for that.
smart to have for
element of-
Beastmaster, so
Yes.
you might want to.
Be interested to see your performance in Alliance Raid Roulette and such from now on, Georgi.
Yeah,
to
now
see
that
how
you're
it's been practiced.
certified, you're certified
see
now.
If it's made you, really.
I don't think there's anything that tells people that other than the fact that they could say I have the ring.
Yeah, you have to glamour the ring on. You know?
glamour the ring.
Yeah,
Georgi.
I don't know if do you have that custom in your countries when you become like an engineer, you get like an engineer's ring or something. That's what we get here. An engineer,
really? Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
And then they like, when you see them like in public, they tap their like
Is it
ring
like a
little
bolt?
just so
Like
you
a
can
nut?
look at their finger and be like, oh, I see you're
Oh, I don't know
you're
what
an
I mean.
engineer, are you?
I
So
think you get high school rings here, and that's kind of it.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, chat. To answer chat, no, there are no acceleration bombs, caution markers, freeze, pyretic. But hey, those don't really get introduced up through Heavenswood. So
Right.
So maybe they'll make another Hall of the Novice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Now, for the moment you have
Oh, here
all
we go.
tuned in for, I know that you are
Probably
ready.
won't even get a post show with how much we'll have to
No,
talk
we're
about
probably
this,
going to
but-
go about an hour overtime
Yes.
talking about this. We're going to talk about the Pandæmonium,
Mhm.
the epic conclusion,
Do
perhaps.
we need to give people a chance to get a snack or something just to set
Get a
an
snack,
ending?
and also huge spoiler warning, massive
Mhm.
spoiler warning for Pandæmonium. This is big stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a minion. There's a wind up
Themis.
Mm.
that
They've
urgently.
created
They want you to bring it to
to Eric Thonius.
Erechthonius. And
Highest priority.
highest priority, it's urgent. It must be done. You pick up and you're like,
You understand the severity of the
I
fact.
accept, I understand, I will pause anything I'm doing. I will not, there's a lots of stuff happening. There's like a fake world that's being built by Electrope and stuff.
Yeah.
But I understand what's at stake.
Literally just stopped a massive invasion of the planet. But
I am on my
I've
way.
got to deliver this.
I'm on my way. Okay, we go
So
down.
you would travel back in time.
We
to
travel
where
back in
this-
time, and we talk to what's her name?
Persephone? No, Hegemony?
Hegemony. No,
Hegemony.
Hegemony.
Yeah, it's hegemony.
Yeah, and we're like, listen, urgent delivery. We need to talk
We've
to
got to wind up
Erechthonius.
Themis.
And she's
He's not here at the moment,
She's
though,
like,
which is
he's
what's he
busy.
doing?
He's got shit to do. What do you want?
He's learning underneath his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, but listen,
Like
this
Berea,
is
who is
super
law
important.
appropriate.
Yes. So
But don't worry. Turns out he's on his way back to
Yes.
Pandemonium right now. So you'll be able to deliver it in person. But hey,
yeah.
why don't you go and crouch behind that gate? And I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
And then you can make the wind-up thing run out.
Yes. And that is what happens. And
We agree to that, which is strange.
we agreed
Yes.
because we understand what's at stake.
Yes. Because if he
It's so
sees
that we
us...
Yes.
He won't show his genuine emotion when he
Yeah.
sees the wind-up Themis, because this way he won't, like, if he's disappointed, we'll see he's disappointed.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But we do want to see that, actually.
We
No,
do.
We want to see that. We want to see
We
him
want to see,
disappointed. if
we
he
want
is
to see his
disappointed.
true emotions. We don't want him to pretend to be happy just because we're there.
Yeah.
Right. And so that happens, and then he's like,
He is happy.
he's very happy. He says, "Okay, thanks," and
We don't reveal ourselves, though, do we?
right.
No, we never do.
We never do.
Because it's imperative that he never changes his attitude.
It is imperative.
post receiving the gift.
It is
So
imperative.
Hegemony and him have a quick natter about like what's going on,
Yeah.
and then he walks off again.
Then he walks off, and we feel
So happy.
so happy because
What a release.
we've done it again.
Yeah.
And we travel back
We go
to
the
our
future
time.
again.
To the present.
Yeah, to the present day, and we say we've delivered it.
We have delivered. We have done what was asked of us.
Thank you.
And they're like, "Okay, thanks." And
But we made a second one.
we made a second one.
And who do you need that delivered to? We say, oh,
Yeah,
just you.
Just
Don't you. worry,
you.
This one's for you.
and we weep of joy. We were so happy.
happy.
That is the best gift.
And even better, they gave us an orchestrion roll they didn't even tell us
Yes,
about.
they didn't even
Yeah.
tell us. He came with an
Just-
orchestrion roll.
It gave us this rolled a bit of music.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and that is the earth-shattering conclusion to that quest.
Whew!
Aren't you
So what do you
glad?
think the implications are
Dude,
for this?
there's so many theories now about,
Yeah, I've been looking at Reddit and I've seen a lot of like
like, did we
the heart of
crouch
the
or did we, like, where were we? Like, where were we hiding and how were we hiding? Did he
were they
know?
the true emotions.
Did
Yeah, because
he-
I think he saw us.
Yeah, do you think
Do you
maybe
think-
there's some changes, minute changes that has happened to the story now? How does this affect the world? There's
Do
so
you think
much
they'll
to talk
reference
about.
this in the MSQ?
I
Probably.
sure hope. Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
This quest exists for two reasons.
Mm.
It exists so that they can give us the minion and the song,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then so also they can remind us, oh, we fixed the eyes.
Yeah. Yes. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
That's it.
it. That's all it
didn't
is.
talk about any ancient lore. Didn't talk about anything to do with the Heart of Sabik, which is very important.
Yeah. It was funny
Oh.
because we were like so
Didn't
like
even really-
Excited.
we were excited because we're like,
Yeah.
okay, they're gonna touch on the fact that dude went like just fucking walked off with the Heart of Sabik. Like there's gonna be some sort of
Where is he right now?
yeah,
Well, he's still there.
yeah, he's still there.
Dylan.
But
Where's it? Well, does he have it in his pocket still?
Yeah,
Has
he's
he
got
So
it.
we don't know where he's.
has he
We don't know where he's
secreted it
keeping it.
somewhere?
well, we
Is he
thought
gonna
we would
defect?
know, Mela, wouldn't we? We thought that was what the quest was
Yeah.
fucking for.
I was hoping so.
But alas, we
To be honest, though, I'm much happier this way because this was way better than finding that out.
I agree. The theories right
Knowing
now
our
are
luck,
crazy.
Lukiel, knowing the sort of pattern from this patch with Sphene and Saralja, it wouldn't have surprised me if Xenos or someone had just appeared and stolen the Heart of Sabik.
Oh,
All right,
You know,
dude.
Emmett Selk's back.
that I don't wish.
We didn't actually defeat Athena.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, anyways, that is that.
That's
That is
the disappointing conclusion to a really good raid series.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you necessarily need to think of this as the conclusion. You
I
can think
choose
of it
to-
as
yeah.
a postscript.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Omega follow-up quest, but I guess not. huh?
I
No.
was. Yeah, I was
you got a Realm
expecting
Reborn side
something.
quest.
Yeah.
I was expecting something along the lines of the quality of Beyond the Rift. but
Yeah.
nope.
No.
No.
Okay, so there you go. That is the second part of our spoilercast complete. We've done it, folks. I would say I am pretty happy with this patch. I think the Alliance Raid was solid. There is one storyline in the MSQ I didn't like, which was the Kona one, which I thought was too rushed. But the otherwise, and also obviously what we just
It's
talked
given
about.
us talking points.
Yes,
We didn't get your opinions on this, Rollo. Quickly, what are your quick takes on the MSQ
very quick, Rollo.
storyline?
Oh, I like it. I'm going to be pretentious again and say I think the best character in Dawntrail is the world of Terrell. So I like getting to do the Rornik stuff a lot, actually.
He's not
Okay.
afraid. He's not afraid of the Dawntrail haters. He's afraid of the 11.
No.
haters.
But 11.
It's very
Oh.
interesting. Even though the
I think
Dawntrail haters are very
I think
vocal.
there's significantly more Dawntrail haters than
Well,
there
no,
are 11
I-
They're out in
players.
force right now.
I don't want people to think I hate a game I don't play. Like,
Well, that's
I
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I generally do want to give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah.
Same.
Okay. Okay, that's the end of the show, folks. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow. You know what? I'm just gonna stop saying Twitter. I'm gonna say it. We're ending it now. You can follow us on
Bisky.
Blue Sky or Bisky.
I loved your shit
speakers-
post on Blue Sky, Lukiel.
Yeah, on Blue Sky, on YouTube and Twitch. Speakers XIV.
Speakersxiv.busky.social.
Yeah, that's the full one. All right, we'll see you in the post. Remember to send us Mogmail, speakersxiv.com/Mogmail, exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. We'll see you in the poster if you're watching live. Bye.
Bye.